You know that moment when a three-time champion wrecks half the field and nobody says a word? Joey Logano started on pole at Phoenix, led 73 laps, and ended the day in 31st place after causing two separate crashes. He spun Ross Chastain, destroyed Austin Cindric's car, and triggered another wreck with AJ Allmendinger. And NASCAR insiders just called out the entire sport for treating him completely different than they'd treat Carson Hocevar for the exact same thing. Joey Logano had the perfect setup at Phoenix Raceway on Sunday. He won the pole with the fastest lap ever in the next-gen car at Phoenix, 135.537 miles per hour. His 38th career pole, all three Team Penske cars qualified in the top 5. David Malukas also grabbed pole for Saturday's IndyCar race. Penske swept both poles for the Desert Double weekend. Everything was aligned for a dominant performance. If you like this kind of NASCAR breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe. We're covering all the chaos this season brings. When the green flag dropped, Logano did exactly what you'd expect. He took off and led the first 46 laps. Ryan Blaney eventually took the lead and won Stage 1, but Logano stayed in the top 3 all day. Christopher Bell dominated Stage 2, leading a race-high 176 of 312 laps. But Logano kept battling. He led 73 laps total and posted the fastest lap of the entire race. His car was that good. Then the final stage happened, and everything fell apart. On lap 217, with about 96 laps to go, the field came to a restart. There were 3 different strategies in play. The front row on old tires, the next rows on 2 fresh tires. And Logano restarting 7th as the first car with 4 fresh tires. Right ahead of him was Ross Chastain. When the green came out and cars funneled into the dogleg, Logano got into the back of Chastain's bumper. That bump sent the number 1 car loose. Chastain fishtailed and Logano caught his right rear, sending Chastain spinning sideways up the track. Anthony Alfredo had nowhere to go and slammed into the mess. His car bounced toward the outside wall and collected Austin Cindric, who took a violent hit. His car looked like all 4 wheels came off the ground. Bubba Wallace got caught up too, but avoided major damage. Cindric and Alfredo were done for the day. After the race, Cindric said, "The restarts get crazy here. I'm not sure I've ever jumped head-on into a wall, but that changed today." Chastain kept going with heavy damage and finished 28th over 25 laps down. On his team radio right after, Logano said, "Dang it, I didn't mean to do that. Obviously, I didn't try to clip him." But his day wasn't done getting worse. On lap 254, with just 58 laps left, Logano was racing 3 wide through that same dogleg. He moved up the track without realizing AJ Allmendinger was right beside him. Allmendinger caught his right rear and Logano went spinning hard. He slid to the inside, then shot back up into traffic. Josh Berry had no place to escape and slammed into him. Daniel Suarez got collected too. All 3 cars were destroyed. After being checked at the infield care center, Logano told reporters, "I'm not really 100% sure what happened there. I guess I didn't realize we were 3 wide, but it still seemed like there was some room there. Just ran out of space into turn 1. About the earlier Chastain crash, he said, "I didn't mean to get Ross there on the restart. I had a run, and he kind of went down to the bottom with me. And gosh, it's been a rough day." From pole position in 73 laps led to a destroyed car and 31st place. A rough day is putting it lightly. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. After the race, NASCAR insiders Jeff Gluck and Jordan Bianchi talked about the Logano-Chastain wreck on their podcast, The Teardown. They brought up a double standard in NASCAR that nobody wants to admit exists. Gluck said, "Imagine if that had been Hocevar," referring to Carson Hocevar. Bianchi immediately agreed. "I thought the same exact thing. You know how much up in arms people would have been? Oh my God, it would dominate. The #1 news story. Hurricane Hocevar is out of control. It would be like the Ross Chastain conversation from years ago." Their point was simple. When a 3-time champion causes a big wreck, people move on quickly. When a young driver does the same thing, he gets labeled as reckless and dangerous. Gluck pushed the discussion further. "I just want the people that are mad at him to keep that energy or not. Just show some consistency here. That was not a good moment for Logano." but I don't think it was malicious or intentional in any way. He was just trying to get a spot on a restart. Bianchi took it even further, bringing up NASCAR history. There's a bit of a double standard when it comes to Carson Hocevar. The same thing happened with Chastain. Same thing happened with Brad Keselowski back in the day. Same thing happened with Logano. You had Kevin Harvick's of the world upset with Joey Logano. And I recall many instances when Kevin Harvick, as a young driver, the shoe was on the other foot. Think about that. Logano himself faced this exact criticism early in his career. Kevin Harvick used to complain about him. Now Logano is the established veteran getting a pass. Should the standard be the same for everyone, or does earning championships buy you forgiveness? The race itself was one of the wildest Phoenix has ever seen. There were 12 cautions, tying the all-time record at that track. 8 of those came in the final stage alone. This was also NASCAR's first race with the new 750 horsepower package on the next-gen car at a short track, up from 670 last year. Ryan Blaney somehow came out on top through all of it. His team had to pit twice for possible loose wheels, and he fell to the back of the field more than once. It was Blaney's 18th career win, his second straight at Phoenix, and the first Ford win of 2026. It also completed the Penske Desert Double Sweep. Tyler Reddick's 4-win dream ended with 8th place. He ran in the top 10 all day but never had a winning car. He said, "We kind of just hovered around 5th all day. That's kind of what we need to keep doing all year to keep the lead that we have." Before the race, Logano sat down with Bob Pockrass and talked about how little practice time NASCAR gives drivers now. Cup Series drivers only get about 20 minutes of practice before qualifying. At superspeedways like Daytona, there's no practice at all except before the 500. Logano compared that to IndyCar, where teams get multiple long practice sessions in a single day with hours in between to make changes. These guys get so much practice in one day. They're very surprised when we say, "Yeah, 20 minutes, then we go qualify." That's what it is. He also said the short practice makes everything feel like a guessing game. You never know anymore if you will win pole position. You just go out there and go as fast as you can. And you don't know if you'll be 30th or 1st. That's a big statement from a 3-time Cup Series champion. So where does this leave us? Joey Logano caused 2 crashes, wrecked 6 cars, and finished 31st. And the biggest story isn't the wrecks themselves. It's how differently NASCAR treats veterans compared to young drivers for the exact same mistakes.